Alright guys, here we are on the guided practice section. Make sure that as you're going through this, you're answering all 4 of the questions as you read along. This comes from history.com. It's titled Nanking Massacre, published by A&E Television Networks and on history.com. It was published on November 9th, 2009. We know that this is a secondary source. So here's an image of Japanese soldiers, the Imperial Japanese Army, when it invaded China. So let's find out about that. In late 1937, over a period of 6 weeks, Imperial Japanese Army forces brutally murdered hundreds of thousands of people, including both soldiers and civilians, in the Chinese city of Nanking or Nanjing. Notice that there's a little asterisk here, down here at the bottom. We know that Nanjing is opposite of Beijing in the north. Nanjing literally translates to southern capital in Chinese. And it was indeed the capital of several empires, as well as the Republic of China from 1912 to 1949. So just after, 4 years after the end of World War II, they moved the official capital from Nanjing in the south to Beijing in the north. All right, back up here. The horrific events are known as the Nanking Massacre or the Rape of Nanking, as between 20,000 and 80,000 women were sexually assaulted. Nanking is the capital of the nationalist China, was left in ruins. It would take decades for the city and its citizens to recover from the savage attacks. This first question is asking you, what is the Nanking Massacre? So if you were following along, I'm annotating, we might go back through here and see was a 6-week period in 1937 where Imperial Japanese Army forces brutally murdered hundreds of thousands of people, both civilians and soldiers, in the Chinese city of Nanking. You would put that into your own words and complete that answer down here. The next one, we're looking at a map here of, this is Japan. It's archipelago, which means a grouping of islands making up a nation. So we've got Japan here. We see South Korea and North Korea. They actually were just Korea at the time that this was happening. They are since separated into North and South. We see this is China here. Beijing, the capital city now. Nanking is over here. So this is all China. This is an area called Manchuria. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We've got Russia up above. Mongolia is here. The contested territory of Taiwan. And then way, if you go off the map, Hawaii is over here. And the United States off onto this side over here. So, Japan was a powerful nation with a growing population and desire to expand. However, Japan was an island nation, is an island nation, with limited space and resources to expand or develop. In order to grow more powerful, Japan needed to acquire this land and these resources elsewhere. The easiest places to look were directly across the China Sea. So we've got the East China Sea here, and the Sea of Japan, and Korea, and China. Question 12 is asking you, why did Japan feel the need to invade their neighbors? So based on the reading, Japan likely invaded Korea and China. I'm going to highlight this right here. We're going to think about, because Japan had only limited space and limited resources, why would they go to Korea and China? What did Korea and China have that Japan did not? Go ahead and answer that in the box below. All right, next section. On December 13th, the first troops of Japan's Central China Front Army, commanded by General Matsui Iwane, entered the city of Nanjing. Even before their arrival, word had begun spreading of the numerous atrocities, horrors, terrible things that had been happening they had committed on their way through China, including killing contests and pillaging. Chinese soldiers were hunted down and killed by the thousands and left in mass graves. So we see soldiers are killed. I also see killing contests and pillaging. Entire families were massacred, and even elderly and infants were targets of execution. So even the old and very young were targets of execution rather than just like soldiers. Tens of thousands of women were raped. Bodies littered the streets for months after the attack. Determined to destroy the city, the Japanese looted and burned at least 1/3 of Nanking's buildings. Right. This next question is asking you for 2 examples of the atrocities committed by Japan in Nanking or Nanjing, depending on how you want to talk about it. I highlighted a lot of examples, so you're just picking 2 of them. So one atrocity it could be killing contests and pillaging as they marched through China. Another atrocity committed by the Japanese in Nanjing was entire families were massacred. Even the elderly and infants were targets of executions. I think the most famous one definitely is the fact that tens of thousands of women were raped. That's often why it's referred to as the rape of Nanking. Many thousands of these women were also kept as sex workers, sex slaves, through the remainder of World War II to act as pleasure women for the Japanese army. So, kind of the terrible gift that no one wanted to keep on giving. Number 14 is asking you, how might this have led to World War II? And I want you to think about how other countries would have felt seeing what Japan had done to China. What would that cause? Like, what feelings would that cause in other countries? And how would that ultimately lead to World War II? So your response goes right here. Japan's attack on Nanking might have led to World War II by. So again, you're thinking about what would the United States be thinking when they saw soldiers marching across China, taking resources, killing people, looting villages, murdering babies. Like, what does that inspire in people? In your response, you're putting it right there. Once you've done that, you are good to go on to the independent practice. I will make another video of it just reading aloud so that you have that.